We're going to do another quick little how-to video because I got to build these for this particular SB220 that's in here for repair. Real quick, we're going to go over how to make your own parasitics. I get this all the time, and there's no magical mysticism that goes along with this. Let me just put that out there on Front Street right now. This is very easy and anybody can do it. These are 5-watt carbon pack resistors. Okay? Carbon ceramic, carbon pack. They cannot be wire wound. They cannot. You can buy these directly from Chinesium Shmoo. They come in a package that looks like this. And this is the Chinesium Shmoo part number. Please feel free to pause if you need to get that number. Also put it in the description in the doobly-doo down below. But that is the eBay part number. And you can also find them on Mauser with that same part number. Okay. What you need is a piece of 14 gauge wire. It's about 6.5 to 7 inches long. Doesn't need to, and we're talking real measurable inches, boys and girls, not man inches. See, this one here from 0 to here is 7 inches. 7. And from 0 to here is 6. They both need to be roughly the same length, 6 to 7 inches long. Okay. You're going to figure out where the middle of this wire is at. And they must be relatively straight and smooth. No bends, no little doobly-doos. You want to make this out of solid copper wire. If you want to, you can spend the money and you can get the silver-plated or nickel-plated wire if you want, but it's still got to be solid extrusion, okay? You're going to need 4 100 ohm resistors because we're shooting for 50 ohm. That's what we're shooting for, all right? You're going to figure out where the middle of the wire is. Let's go over here and get out our universal make you feel short tool. That's the middle. We're going to take anything round that is roughly 3/4 of an inch round. And that just magically happens to be the same size as a bird element. Anything 3/4 of an inch round, take the middle of it, put it on the 3/4 inch round thing, and bend it into a horseshoe. Hence the term horseshoe parasitic. Horseshoe. See that? Horseshoe. The idea is to make sure that this bend is nice and smooth and has no sharp edges. We're going to take our now 50 ohm 10 watt resistor and we're going to put it so that it is exactly 1 inch from the base of the hole, or the base of the opening of the horseshoe. So our leads, bottom of the base, moving to be about 1 inch away, and then we're going to solder the leads to our 12 volt wire. It's that simple. So, remember, resonant length inductance is a thing. So, we want to keep from the edge of this lead to the bottom of the hoop within about 1 inch. Let's go ahead and we'll glob some solder on this. Let it flow over. That's simple. Flow, flow. Now, once you guys in the YouTube land having to watch, once you've got it tacked on, I like to take the wire and physically, mechanically bend it over. Just like so. And then we'll cut it off flush. See that? I like to have a mechanical connection. Imagine that. Mechanical connection for us to solder to. So now, we'll solder this up. Right here. Like so. Solder, solder, solder. Solder, solder, just like so. That looks good. Come back and touch up this one side. Need my needle nose. Mechanical connection is not necessary, but I found that a lot of guys can't really solder, so if I don't show them to do a mechanical connection, I'm going to get blown up tomorrow with a bunch of comments saying, I built it just like you showed me and it fell apart. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so we're going to even this out. Take our needle nose and right at our solder joint, we're going to just bend this over nice and smooth. So it's got a nice smooth edge to it, nice good radius. Remember what I just said. No hard radiuses. None whatsoever. That is your horseshoe parasitic suppressor. That is by far vastly superior to this old school system. So once again, we'll get out our man crying measuring tool, 7, so we'll go 3.5. Our 3/4 inch round thing, whatever it is, we're going to bend it around in a hoopie. Okay. We're going to get out our tape measuring tool once again, and from the bottom of the horseshoe to the 1 inch mark, we're going to put ourselves our suppressor into play. Grab our soldering iron. Tack, tack, tack. Let that set up. Fold over the one side so we have a mechanical connection. Trim our lead. Fold this over so we have our mechanical connection. Trim the lead. Clean that up a little bit. That cool down so we can put our fleshy little fingers on it. Turn, bend, 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 multiple spots so we don't have a hard 90-degree angle. And that is how we build horseshoe parasitic suppressors. Please note, they're the same. That's what we're shooting for. You don't want them much longer than this, and you don't want to make the hoop much smaller than that. Otherwise, it'll lose its parasitic suppression ability. The inductor is a key thing in how this works. Reason you don't want to make them too long, it adds too much inductor to the circuit, and if you make them too short, they don't actually do their job. So, that's how you make them. Now let's install them real quick. Let's talk about how to mount these up here real quick. You want to have a mechanical connection here at the top of the plate choke. So you're going to bring the wire through. There's 2 little eyelets on this thing. Bring the wire through and hook it over and mechanically connect it. It'll help support it. Believe it or not, these do vibrate a little bit from the fan moving behind it, and you want to provide this joint to be as strong as it possibly can. You'll see that this one is mounted flat horizontally and this one's mounted vertically going down. We do that for a resonance thing. We don't want these 2 horseshoes to be in the same plane orientation. You'll find that out if you do decide to, they'll just, no matter what you do, they'll smoke because they see each other. And you're going to have a resonancy issue. So one goes down, other one goes flat. And same thing for the ones that you buy off the old internet there off of eBay. So just keep that in mind. Mechanical connection, through-hole connection, and you're good to go. These resistors are worth their weight in gold, by the way. These old resistors. Because we are forced to use the newer style resistors that are made from different material from the 1950s, this material had a little bit of capacitance to it. If this resistor is not disintegrated or burned, you do not need to replace it. This actually works better than these resistors here with this material. This resistor. I wish I could get these resistors in bulk that are still being manufactured, but it is not a thing. So unfortunately, this is what we're stuck dealing with. There's about 5 to 8 puff worth of capacitance inside that resistor just because of the material it's made of. These, on the other hand, don't have those characteristics. Hence the reason why you see Ameritron and some of the other tube builders here recently try to compensate for that by adding capacitors to the parasitic circuit. Me personally, I don't want to have any extra capacitance up here if possible. So, on that note, that's how you build your own parasitic suppressors. Let's hook this box up and run it. Gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this little educational seminar that I just gave you on how to make your own parasitic suppressors, take a minute, come find us on Patreon, and come throw the channel a little bit of support. If it's been helpful to you in any way, make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. On that note, we'll see you. Bye.